All right, so I'm here with a very young and talented Khami. She's a music student here at FIU, and she also produces, sings, and songwrites. Thank you for agreeing to interview with me today. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a songwriter and producer. I've been doing music since I was like 6 years old, you know. I've been singing my whole life, and then I got into jazz just this year and classical since like middle school, high school. Yeah, and I'm super into like ambient music, rock, all the genres, you know.
Sick.
Yeah, and I'm super happy to be doing this interview, and I'm glad that you asked me.
You said that you've been making music basically since you were 6. That's a very long time.
Yeah.
Most people when they start music, they're at least a little bit older than that. So I can tell that just by that answer that music has played a very large part in your life.
Yeah.
How would you say music has changed your life?
I started recording music in my sophomore year, or no, my junior year of high school. And I like just got GarageBand and like played around whatever. I got like YouTube beats and put them on. And then I would just like yeah, I just that's when I started writing lyrics too. I wrote my first song in freshman year, but so basically I was like super depressed in junior year.
Junior year of high school would do
Junior
that.
year is very depressing high school year, but so and it was also like COVID time, so it was around like the time where everyone was kind of like off of their personality and like what was going on, like not like social distancing and all that stuff. And so yeah, I felt like super lonely, and I would like put everything I felt like into my music, and that's what like got me out of depression, like was music. Like just like I used to like put my headphones on and just like listen like every day constantly listening to music, and like I would record myself. I would set up a camera and like record myself just like dancing and like lip singing, not for anyone, like just scroll for hours like and there's videos of me like singing. And yeah, so yeah, it's changed my life. Like it's made me realize a lot of things that I wouldn't have realized otherwise. Like I used to not be aware. Okay, can I get like super deep? Like I can get like super deep.
It's what you want to
Okay,
share.
I'm gonna share a lot. Okay.
Okay.
So 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 basically, I used to smoke weed, right? And I started smoking weed in my junior year, and I was like around this group of kids in high school, and they all smoked weed, so I started smoking weed with them, whatever. And they were all musicians too, and they were really good. So I was like, we're friends, we're musicians, we smoke weed, whatever. And then, but I was also like really lost at the time because we had just gotten out of COVID, and I like didn't know who I was anymore. Like I lost myself completely, basically. So I was trying to find myself, and yeah, I felt like super depressed. Writing music was almost like it's like therapy. It was like my therapy. Like I didn't have a therapist, didn't have anyone to talk to, I didn't have friends who knew me. So I just wrote lyrics like every day, all day. I'd come home like high as hell and like just write poetry basically, and be like, I'm gonna turn this into a song one day. Like I'm just gonna, and you can like go through my notebook, and it's just like scribbles everywhere. It's like it looks like a mess, and then slowly as I started to sober up, like you can see like the pages start to clear, and like the words start to make more sense. Like yeah, they showed me how to use GarageBand and like Logic and stuff, and then I wrote my first song. Yeah, it's changed my life ever since.
So I played for you a few snippets of my unreleased music. I showed you Letting Go and Valor. As a fellow producer, like I would just love to hear your opinion on the songs. Which one was your favorite? If you hated them.
Well, I really liked Valor. I think you said that Valor is like a common like
Yeah.
and it does make sense. Yeah, I'm super into like the space, like I'm super into spatial music, like ambient, but like also it sounds like outer space. Like it reminded me of like I went to Ultra recently, like last year, and it reminded me of like the music they play there, like, and everyone's like like
I love to
so
hear that.
I think it could definitely like be in a festival. Yeah, I really like the subs that you made. Like I'm really inspired by the way that you like made everything. Like cuz I make beats on this laptop actually. And and like I don't make any of the sounds, right?
Yeah.
I just use like the stock like effects, and like use the effects, whatever the stock noises, whatever. Like there's so much more like creativity when you just make your own shit. Like
Yeah.
so I think that's really cool that you do that, and
Thank you.
it's inspiring me.
Awesome. Like you heard in Valor. You heard. Don't talk about. We can't talk about too much. Gotta give them a little something to wait for and look forward to. But you heard the vocals in Valor. Like that was like a sample. So but there's no singing, but for my next project, like, which is already like a little bit in the works, you know, I'm hoping to get more singers and artists in general from specifically South Florida.
Yeah.
So I don't think people outside of South Florida really know this, but we really have like a banging local scene. Like
we
it's
do. For like everything, like,
literally everything:
metal,
rap,
rock,
metal,
bro,
indie,
yes, like,
EDM.
rave,
Like
everything.
you can really find everything here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like in a lot of other parts of the country, it's like very specific for specific things. Like you go to Nashville if you're a country singer. You go to New York if you want to do maybe more of like Broadway type stuff. You know, like, but you can come to Miami and kind of do it all.
Yes.
Latin beats, EDM, rap, whatever it may be. And there's hella talent down here.
Yeah.
Hella talent.
Yeah.
In this room.
Yeah.
In this building. Or in the School of Music. Yeah, that's really cool. And I'm glad that music was there for you when there wasn't really like a person that you felt like could relate to you. One of the answers, I interviewed people over at Hollywood Beach, like strangers first. And your answer is like pretty similar to like a lot of people's answers in the sense that like music was there for them when maybe there wasn't anyone else. So I'm also curious as well, like I would love to know, like, because when we were speaking earlier a little bit before the interview off camera, you were mentioning like all these different influences and everything, like, and I love that you seem to be very open to like a very like wide range of genres. So I'd love to know, like, who are some of your like musical inspirations, whether it be like maybe a band or a certain genre or artist that just really, kind of got you, motivated to making your own music.
Yeah. Okay. So I really like The Weeknd. Yeah. I've seen him live like once, and also I love rap. Like rap music was also kind of like I got influenced to like listen to rap from like my middle school friends, and that like really inspired like what I wanted to make. Like I wanted to rap at first. Like I didn't only sing. Like I wanted like mainly to like kind of like Doja Cat vibe, or something like that. But also like J. Cole lyrically, like speaking.
So maybe like a little bit more like conscious.
Yeah, and like storytelling and stuff like that. Because there's just so many different like. It really amazes me how many different ways you can write a song. Like you can tell like a full length story about like a person you haven't even like met. Like you just make it up like the Beatles do that a lot, and like Taylor Swift and Joni Mitchell. I just found her recently. And sound wise is Tame Impala. Like he's my number one. Like no one will ever top him. And I really like instruments like sax, harp, and violin, like all together. Those three are just like angelic, like all played together. I was part of this friend group. I went to their house once, and they had a bunch of instruments, and they would all improvise together, like whether it be like picking a song and like the progression and like playing that progression, then everyone else improvises on it with like drums, bass, sax, and then there would also be like a vocalist too. So that really inspired me to just like improvise. Like I feel like when you improvise, you connect with it. It shows you like how to like connect with people through music. Like it's like the most authentic way to connect with someone through music is just improvising. Like they're in the moment, like playing something, you catch their vision basically from what they're playing, and then you like keep going with it. Like you continue it, and it's just magic. Like it's literally magic. That really inspires me to just improvise. Like what I do a lot in my music, like even just recording like all the demos I have, it's just all improvised. Like I'm just like da, 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 okay, go go go. Like I don't know, like what my process is like press record, do a melody, and then like go through it. That's like a pretty common way of writing music. I feel like it's just like improvising like a melody and then writing lyrics over the melody, like stuff like that. So
that's really cool. I think that's also like a very like authentic way of creating music. I feel like sometimes, as musicians, sometimes we might have an idea and we go to like our instrument or our doll, whatever, and it's like, oh, how do I make this or that or that? And it's like, sometimes you really just need to go with the flow. And like I agree with you, like improvisation is like the epitome of just going with the flow. And bouncing off, each other's vibes, and it really is like a conversation. Like the way we're sitting here chatting like this.
Exactly.
It's just you're having a conversation. I play a little lick, and you respond to it, you know?
Yeah.
With whatever instrument, and I think that's really cool. And even with like vocals as well, you really can come up with like some really cool stuff. Like one of my favorite songs, it's by Erykah Badu. It's called geez, what's it called? It's called Tyrone. I think it's called Tyrone. So basically, it's just a song she improvised on stage in London. She talks about it in the live album, where they were just messing around. They made like a cool beat, and the drummer was playing something nice, and the chords were cool, and she was like, "Yo, I really like that." And so she improvised this song, and that song ended up going triple platinum.
Wow, that's
so
insane.
I want to say triple platinum. Don't quote me on that. That might be a lie, but I'm pretty sure like it did very well. It was definitely the most popular song from that album, and she improvised that, recorded it live in London, and played it for the first time at a show.
Proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding. Yeah, exactly.
I have this friend that I just met. His name is Aiden. I heard him say something that like stuck with me. Like I'm gonna keep it forever. It's that like we are like the vessel for like the music that we're creating. Like I'm not religious. Like, are you religious by any chance? Like
I would consider myself more spiritual.
Spiritual. Me too.
Maybe at this point in my life.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But it's like I'm just gonna use this as like a analogy or whatever. Okay, like a spirit, right? Like giving you like a thought. It's like somebody's like giving you the lyrics, right? Bringing like the lyrics to you and the melody to you, and then you're the vessel that lets it out. That's why I love improvising. It's the most authentic way to like make music. It's just like the first thing that comes to your mind, you like let it out, like you just go and you're like confident in it. Being confident in your music is like the most important thing. If you're gonna go meet somebody part of the music industry or whatever, like they're really good at music, if you're not confident in your music, they won't really know.
You won't be confident in your music either.
Exactly. They'll just be like, oh yeah, I do this thing. It's okay, it's whatever. And then it's like really good, but like you're not
confident.
You're not confident about it. So like I think people get scared of being like cocky or being like seen as pretentious or like whatever, but like who cares? Like it's your music. Like
you gotta be proud of it.
Yeah, be proud of it, especially if you love doing it.
Yeah. That was like a really great point.
Tell people because you're good.
Like, tell people because you're good. Hey, if there are any young musicians out there watching this right now, like this is your sign. Like drop a snippet on the gram. Like release it on SoundCloud, even if it gets 1 view and it's just you. We all got to start somewhere. So I agree with that. Yeah. So like, do you like what are your plans for the future? In the sense of like, what do you hope to do with your voice and your talents? Like, what's your goal?
Okay, so I've thought about this a lot, and I've gone like back and forth between a lot of things. Like, I've said I want to just be a musician and just create, and I do like in my core want to do that. Like, that's number one is just to create music. But when I think about like a goal that I really like want to set for myself is to like make it mainstream, like but who doesn't like think about that and like but I feel like the only way to like get there is to make that like a thing you want, like you can't just be like, oh yeah, I can make it mainstream. Like for a long time I've been like, yeah, if I don't make it, that's fine. Like as long as I'm making music, that's all that matters. And that's true. But I think if I want to actually make something like create something big that like the whole world sees or like a lot of people can see, like and influence people in like influence a lot of people in that way, then I have to like tell myself that that's what I want. Like I have to like make it known that that's what I want, because but at the end of the day, like creating music is the number one thing. Just being able to let go of things like through art and like using it as therapy. Like yeah.
That was a great answer, and thank you so much once again for like agreeing to sit down and do this interview with me. I wish you the best of luck. You should release something because she has a beautiful voice for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, of course. Stream changes.